All right. So after that, we had another, well, not another, but one of these Jamie Noble, Joey Mercury segments backstage at the Authority, talking about how they can't find Ambrose anywhere. Stephanie points out mustard on Jamie Noble's mustache and asks if he stopped for a hot dog or a hamburger or something. And then they threaten to fire Noble and Mercury if they don't find Ambrose. But then as they leave the scene, in comes Damian Sandow and The Miz. And Sandow, speaking for The Miz, is talking about how dare you put me in this situation. I am the champion. I am an A-list Hollywood actor. I deserve a one-on-one match. And then he and Miz say pretty much simultaneously, I want action, or I demand action is what it was. And then Triple H is just cracking up, just like the rest of America at this point. And he really confronts The Miz specifically. He says that your little stunt double buddy here is going to be in a match tonight against Sheamus. And if you ever come in here barking orders at me again, your straight to DVD career is going to go straight to the unemployment line. Sick bird!
As only Triple H can inflict. You know, I'd make fun of him for the chaperone being a thing, but considering that this line was hilarious and he's been such a driving force behind NXT, I'm going to give him a pass. So, there you go there. This was yet another hilarious segment. Again, Damian Mizdow shows up, does great work. This is definitely one of the better comedy acts that WWE has produced. So we are getting Damian Mizdow versus Sheamus tonight. Nothing more to say than that.
Yeah, up next was Rosa Mendez versus Layla. I have nothing to say here, although it is pretty awesome that Tyson Kidd, as a heel with his current I don't care about anything gimmick, is getting spotlight on Raw, and he really stole this segment.
He's my favorite douche. He is one of my favorite heels right now. I'd say it's him. And yeah, Randy Orton I've always been big on him, especially this year with everything that he's done. So I'd say, yeah, it's
and everything that he's been through. He's borderline sympathetic babyface at this point.
I know. So it's like, it's Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, Tyson Kidd. My goodness, what a weird list that is. So yeah, love Tyson Kidd. And he's just listening to music the entire day. You know what's so funny? And I hate to be that guy, because I do think that the women have gotten a lot better, but particularly for this match, because you really don't care about either person, though I do think Layla is talented. I really don't care for Rosa yet at all, but maybe she'll improve.
I've got a question for you, John. If you had to give a title to Tyson Kidd's gimmick, like Bray Wyatt is the bearded swamp-dwelling cultist, or like John Cena is the wannabe Marine who never gives up and thinks that he is God, what would you say Tyson Kidd's gimmick is?
Douchey factoid Canadian. It's just, you know.
The Canadian thing is not a part of his gimmick at all.
Well, you know, I mean, they do like to point out that he has those Hart family roots. The Harts are Canadian, ergo, you know, douchey Canadian, factoid Canadian. So, you know, there you go.
Okay. Because I was trying to figure out, because somebody asked what his gimmick is, and they were shooting out possible answers, and I don't think they really got any of them right, but they got close. They said, is TJ's gimmick that he is an emotionally unavailable husband or just a 14-year-old boy? And I'm just like sitting here like, you know, he's kind of a little bit of both, but not really either one fully. So what would I call him? And I can't figure it out.
Yeah, you know what? We'll work on it. We'll even pose it to our Twitwell listeners. What is Tyson Kidd exactly? Come up with your best submissions. I mean, again.
And while the answer of brilliant is valid, it's not what we're looking for.
Exactly. We want like a hodgepodge of all sorts of words that just come together to just articulate the essence of what Tyson Kidd is. So come at us with that. But what I was getting ready to say is that I think what he was doing during this match, listening to his iPod, it seemed like listening to music.
Yeah, and freaking JBL and Cole were talking about how he was playing games. He wasn't playing games. He was listening to Beats by Dre. Gosh.
Yeah, give him his space, you losers. Anyway, what he was doing during this Divas match is I'm sure what a lot of people do during Divas matches that don't involve AJ or Paige or any of the NXT women. Just a shot in the dark there for me. So, yeah, I thought that was hilarious. But then the real heel here, to me, was Natalya, because not only does she get up in her husband's face during Tyson time, but she actually takes away the iPod. How inconsiderate can you be right now?
Yeah.
You know, like, let the man enjoy his music. I know he has to put up with you all the time. In fact, and not even to pull a Tyson Kidd with all the facts, but they show a clip from Total Divas about how Natalya is just like, well, TJ, I had to go and buy my own birthday cake and just throw my own party, and I had to cook my own birthday dinner. To which Tyson rightly pointed out, now hold on, I bought the rotisserie chicken. Now, my God, is the man going to get any credit for anything? And then Natalya goes on to complain, I'm madly in love with TJ, I just don't know if he feels the same way, to which Ashton brilliantly responded, well, who could blame him, Natalya? So you could see clearly where our sympathies lie.
I'm sorry, I was under the impression that she was his wife, not his mother.
I know, right? And then if you guys are wondering why during all of this we haven't addressed anything specifically happening with the match, it's because, really, what is there to say? Layla wins with the layout neck breaker. And I will say, to treat it with a little bit of seriousness, I do think the story here, because I was reading interviews leading up to the Season 3 premiere of Total Divas, and Rosa being the newest cast member. Rosa's goal is to win a match, definitively, pinfall or submission, no DQ crap, none of those shenanigans. She wants to win a match, and her even grander ambitions are to be the Divas champion. Well, I think this whole association with Natalya as a mentor and this and that, I think the end game is Rosa getting a one-on-one victory, or maybe even a tag victory where she picks up the pin and getting that win that she's wanted. I think that's what the story going on here is. I actually thought it might have happened this week, but it didn't, and even if it did, I wouldn't have cared because Tyson Kidd is happening, and he's amazing. So, yeah, that's just kind of my serious little polish on this. Is I do think there's a bigger story for Rosa Mendez going on here, and I never thought that would be a sentence, and I feel like to go and cleaning myself. So, Ashton, do you have anything you want to say before we move on?
Rosa Mendez is the most worthless person on the entire WWE roster, and the only reason she has a job is because Michael Hayes has a crush on her.